Hello and welcome to Pattern Making with Let Morris. I hope you're doing well. Beginning of a new week. I just want to say that we're going to be doing this dress pattern today in the class. The lesson for today is this dress. It's got quite a lot going on, but we're going to do it stage by stage. And I hope you can follow as we go through this. But I must take the time to thank everyone that's been watching, those in the group, those who watch on the YouTube, and just to say, don't forget to share, subscribe, tell someone about these lessons. And I hope they bring value to you. And don't forget to comment, if there's nothing, or if there's something that you don't understand, you can send a message and we will help you, do our very best to help you to understand. But I will take this stage by stage and do it in depth as I can. And these pattern that we make are from blocks. So we're going to use our basic block to construct these patterns so that we can get a good fit. We do not get a roll in, we don't get creases because we've already established our block, and we just go ahead and work straight from our block. So here we go. So this is the style. Just sort of go through it a little bit. It's a princess line dress and it's got an opening at the neckline. We've got a frill or flounce going into the seam over the shoulder, a bit long. It also covers a bit of the sleeve, and the sleeve's a straight sleeve coming into a flounce or a frill. And I've kept a frill going on here. So we've got frills there, and we've got frills at the cuffs and at the hemline. And it's fitted princess line also at the back. Same thing, the frills coming over. And it's got a zip in the back and a small little frill on the bottom of the skirt. So this is not a quick pattern. So we'll take it stage by stage. And as I post it up, I hope you'll be able to follow. And you're able to make this for yourself. So we need pencils, ruler, scissors, tape measure, rubber, tracing wheel, and our blocks and paper, whether it be plain paper, brown paper, spot and cross paper. And once you've got that, we're ready to go. So we've got the blocks here. This is your extended bodice block, and we're going to use those. I've already marked it round and I've extended it to the length that I want this dress to be. I've transferred all the information, the darts, balance mark on. So that's the new bit. So you've got a long, and I've also put the style line on. I've created the panel, princess line panel, from the shoulder coming to the bust point, and then from the end of the dart all the way to the hem. And I've also created the frill section at the bottom on both pieces, the back and the front. So that's the princess line panel coming down there, and I'm just going to go through this with you. So this is our draft that we've got here, and I'm going to start with the front. So I'm going to put the back away, and I've already cut them out. So here we go, and a new sheet of paper. I'm going to fold that because I want the front to be on the fold like that. So I fold that, I place that onto my new sheet of paper like that, and I'm going to trace off this section here. Maybe I'll colour it in so that you can see. I'm going to trace off this section here firstly, but before I do that, I'm going to create my neckline on there. So I'm going to take it back from the neckline about an inch, and you measure back, and I'm going to create it on my draft, and I'm going to come back I'm going to drop it down, get a nice curve around, down, round, and I'm going to open it out. I'll take it to about 5 to 6 inches down. I don't want it to go down to the bust, so you're seeing your bust, especially if you've got a big bust. If you're not so busty, you can take it down a bit lower. So I'm going to take it down to there, and then from that point I am going to go back from the center front about a 1/2 inch from there, and then I'm going to take the line there and I'm going to shape it back into that section. So I'm getting a nice shape here into here like that. So it's cut away this bit here. So that's my new neckline here, round to there and down to there, down to there. So I've got that marked on my block, and now I'm going to trace off this section here. You can trace it off or you can cut it out, right? So I am just going to trace it off onto my new sheet of paper, and I'm going to use my tracing wheel to trace it off. If I can find my tracing wheel, and I haven't got my tracing wheel at hand at the moment, so I am just going to cut out the shape and then do that. So I'm going to transfer all of this. So I've now cut this out so you can see. You cut out or you trace it off. I'm cutting down on this princess line, and I'm going to come down this side of the dart like that, and I'm going to take it all the way to the bottom. I'm taking all this off here, this section that I've got in blue, and I'm going to go across that section there. So that's the first piece of pattern that I have. So once I've got that, I'm going to cut out the neckline that I have, because I want that to be the same on my back. When I come to do the back, you go in the same amount there. So I'm going to just mark where I've marked it here. I'm going to just cut that around, take that off. You don't throw these bits until you actually finish making your pattern. So we've removed that bit there like that. You can see that that's removed. So I'm going to put that one side so we don't throw that away until we finish, if we need to come back. So now this is the piece that we've got, and I'm going to place that on the fold like that. And then I'm going to mark around this new shape, because I've got to add my seam allowance. So I'm going to mark around there like that, around this new section here that I've got across the shoulders. And then I'm going to come down that line. I'm going to put a dart in, balance mark in there, one for the waist along there all the way down, and I'm going to create one halfway between the waist and the hemline, and I'm going to put another balance mark there. Then I can move that out the way. So now that is the shape that I've got on there, and now I'm going to just add my seam allowance on the shoulders like that, centimeter. And I'm going to add 1/4 inch around, this is my neckline here, and I'm going to come around here 1/4 inch all the way back to nothing here. So I'm just going to shape that into there 1/4, and shape that 1/4 inch on my neckline, so it looks like that. And then along here I'm going to put my centimeter down these panels like that. So you see, it makes life easier once you've got your block. All you do is just create your lines onto your blocks. You don't have to make a block at this point because you've already got your blocks. All you do is just create your style lines on, and you just follow your seam allowance down, and then you add it on the bottom as well along there. So you only need 1 centimeter along there. So you've got your notches in, and you just smooth up the line, smooth it back into your waist, along to your bust area there. So that is your center front. This is your center front panel, center front panel, and we're going to cut one of those. So that is your center front. So the next piece that we need to do is we're going to do the side piece. So we're going to create this side section now. I'm going to shade that in. We're going to copy off this side. We don't want the dart. We don't want that dart in there. And we're going to take that dart out. So we're going to come along all the way up from the bottom, and we're going to come along this side of the dart back up to there, and then we're going to slash along here and close the dart out. Okay, so, and then we're going to take it off along here as well. So this, we do that first. We're going to cut that off because this is this section here is the bottom section. So we can put that one side like that, and we're going to cut up from the end of the dart there, up this side of the dart like that. And this, we know definitely now that we're making it from the blocks. We're going to have nice fittings into there around the side, and then we just cut. It doesn't matter any one of these lines you cut on, and then we close out because we don't want that dart. We want it to go into this seam. So we just close that out like that. Make sure that touches on that side. You sellotape it on. You sellotape it on, or you prick stick it on, whichever you do. And so that you know that it's closed out. So with your sellotape or your prick stick, you close the dart out. And now you know that your dart is now, it's swung into this seam. It's gone into your seam. So you know that you're going to get a nice clean fit around that section there. So once you've done that, we're going to copy that off, and we're going to lay that on your new sheet of paper, and a clean sheet of paper, and we're going to copy it round, and then we put our grain lines on and add our seam. So we copy that off all the way around. You can put your waist dart in along there, round the armhole, along the shoulders. I have to keep this, I have to do it in stages because the video is going to be too long. So I'm going to break at one stage and then go on to the next stage. So you then mark all the way along around the shape that you've got here. Make sure you've got your balance mark in, your shoulders, your waist, and you're going to have your bust point. And then when we cut this out, we're going to have a notch the same distance from the waist or from the hem up. So once you've done that, we must always remember to put your grain line on, which is there. I've already marked it on, and we transfer it on to our new sheet of pattern that we have traced off or copied off. So that is your grain line for your side bit. And all we do is just connect up our lines, make sure we got nice smooth lines across the bottom, and then we put our seam allowance on the bottom. We only need 1 centimeter along there, and then we're going to put 1 centimeter at the top of the shoulders like that. And because you must remember that your block hasn't got any seam allowance on, and we only need 1 centimeter around the armhole. So you're going to measure that on, or if you can mark it on, make sure the lines are nice smooth there, and then you just add your seam allowance also on the side, and you just follow it through, follow the shape through all the way down to the bottom, to the hem, to get your centimeter seam all the way down to the hem. And then you also put your centimeter seam allowance on your, make sure the lines are straightened up, nice smooth lines, and you just come up the panel line with your centimeter seam, and you follow that up, follow that all the way around to your waist, and right around to the bust area, centimeter down, and round up to the shoulders, centimeter all the way down. And if you're not, can't do that you can't curve that, you use your French curve, or you use your curve to get nice shaping into the waist, and make sure you've got nice smooth line around your hip area like that. So once you've done that, so this is now your side front panel, and you're going to cut 2 of those. So that is your front. You've got your center front here, and then you cut out your shape, and then you check that this line here matches this line here, and you've got your notches in, one for the bust point, one for your waistline, and then we put another one there, but you check it as you're going along. So that is the front section of your skirt, and I'm just going to do the bottom section as well. So once you've got that, we cut those pieces out, and we can cut them out another time, but I just want to do the bottom bit of the skirt. And there we go. I'm going to divide it into 3 sections. So this is the center front fold, so we're going to have divide it into 1 and 2 and 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3 sections, so we divide that. So once again, we get another sheet of paper, and we put that on the fold edge. We fold it, we crease it, then we cut up on those lines. We don't cut it all the way through. We cut it, just leave a little bit dangling there. And then we're going to open out so that we can get what is called the flute on the hem of the skirt. So we place that on the fold, and we're just going to open it out as wide as we can go, each piece. So we open out, and we open it out. The more you open it, the fuller you get. You get. So you open it, they're keeping them the same so that it's even, so that when you put it on, it doesn't drop in one position. It's going to drop evenly all around the hem of the skirt. So you're going to make sure that it's open evenly along there, right? You can take it round till it's a half circle, but I don't want it to be half a circle. I don't want it too full, right? You can take it around when you square a line out, and you can bring this piece all the way to touch there. But I don't want mine all the way so full. So I just keep them the same distance as I open out there. As you can see it, they're the same. So once I've got that, and I'm satisfied with the amount that I want to put in there, I then mark around the shape of the top, along the side and around the bottom. Right, just put a few little marks along there, and then you can connect them up. We can connect them up after. So once you've done that, we can move that bottom bit off, and then we just get a nice smooth line running around here like that, and we straighten up this line here, and we're going to take that all the way round that way. So sometimes you'll find, because this part here is become on the bias of your fabric when you lay it on. So halfway between there and there, which is there, I just normally come up about 3/8 of an inch and just take it back into there, because I know that's definitely going to drop on the bias there, and then bring that back into my front. So that is my new line, and then I can rub that one out that I've put on there, I had before, and then mark on my new line, which is, I allow for the drop there. And then once you've got that, you just put your seam allowance on, which is 1 centimetre on the side, centimetre around this section here, which joins to the skirt. But then you must check that this line here matches this one and that one before you cut out. And then we add the seam allowance around here, which is 1 centimetre again, because we're just going to edge stitch it. And that is our bottom frill or flounce. And then I'm going to use the center to be my grain line here. Along here will be my grain line. So once you've got that, you've got front, hem, and you're going to cut one of those. So once we've done that, we just cut out the shapes, and we check. I'm going to break for the moment and then go to the back when we come back. So, and I'll cut them out, and then I'll show you what I mean when we've got to make sure that measurements there fit these pieces here, and we know that we're ready to go. So that is your front hem, and that is your center front body panel, and that is your side panels. So we're going to take a break now, and when we come back, we'll carry on with the rest of the dress. See you soon. Bye.